I'd like to call the meeting to order, begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. I've got a couple things I need to add to it under 5A. For B, it's going to be solid waste concrete. C is going to be PSC billing there. D is going to be the EMA director position. And E will be our logo discussion, county logo. Any others you want to add? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve as presented, as modified.
Make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Leonard, you're on our written here, so we're gonna let you have priority over Warren.
Well, thank you.
Behind you.
Is comments not on, public comments? Randy, is public comments not on here?
It is public comments.
He's in the public.
Oh. Okay.
Since there was a little confusion about who the order of approving appropriations, it was tabled last month when requesting additional appropriations for EMS. So I would come back to discuss further. There was some information that you asked about as well. I said this just today. I'll go ahead and pass it out in case you didn't get it. This is the November's P and
I
L.
printed it out for him.
You already have one?
Yeah, she gave it first. I think it came in just today.
Yeah, I didn't send it until 3:00 this afternoon or so after Megan got it finished up. That was just to give you an idea what the flipper looks like. Our original request, it's on one of my papers here, it was $209,000, I believe. You had some questions last month and asked for some clarification on some different things. Is there any particular order you wish to discuss those?
Just get started, whatever works for you.
Okay. Let me get the right paper here. In question was, one of the main questions was our overtime expenses. And we did some playing around with some different schedules and some different things, trying to eliminate as much overtime as possible. Due to having 24-hour coverage, it's really hard to have zero overtime for everybody. With our proposed schedule change, we would have 8 hours a week of overtime versus our current average about 32 weeks, over the course of the year, it averages like 32 hours per week.
So you cut that down to 8 hours?
Correct. And doing that, and I believe I sent you this last week, so I didn't bring copies for everyone. But the difference doing the two schedule changes is about $61,000, $61,154 and some change. Switching from the current schedule we have to the proposed schedule, but that requires hiring 2 additional full-time paramedics and, excuse me, that's not right. That's hiring additional 2 part-time staff members, 1 paramedic and 1 EMT. Currently, we have 6 full-time paramedics, 6 full-time EMTs, and a handful of PRN staff for casual, PRN or casual, kind of use interchangeably, terminology. So we don't feel we have enough casual staff to just remove that day off the schedule and hope somebody picks it up. Whereas if we could find the part-time staff to have a consistent schedule weekly, we feel like that would be a better option. But then trying to find that person or persons to fill that part-time spot has been a little difficult. We've had it open, a part-time spot for both positions since, don't quote me on this, I'd have to go back and look, but I think August, end of August, 1st of September, we've had the part-time positions open. So this isn't the first time we looked at this. We've been looking at it for several months, trying to remedy the overtime.
So I mean, is this a random part-time or is it something that's consistent, like
It'd be a 24-hour shift weekly, basically, is what it would amount to.
But I'm just thinking someone that worked somewhere else, if they pulled one day,
Probably.
could it be, I mean, if they had a full-time job somewhere where they would just work one additional day at some point, it worked within their other.
Typically, people that work EMS tend to have multiple jobs anyway. So it's not uncommon for someone to work full-time, say, at Service A, then part-time, or PRN
Pick up a day or
at
two.
Service B, yeah, here and there. So we just don't have a large pool of people to pull from that have shown interest up to this point.
Okay.
I have another report here, and again, I didn't print it. I apologize, I can pass it around if you like, but this is our overtime report per pay period. And I have our total overtime per pay divided up here per quarter, started in quarter 3 in 2024. And we are trending downwards. For our 2024 average, we were at 520 overtime hours per pay. Year to date, so far this year, we're down to 418. So we're working on getting the overtime down. It's just, it's not a huge,
So a pay
it's not a
period,
leap, it's
Is the pay
steps.
period 2 weeks?
Yes,
And then you're at 418.
correct. That's for all staff, not one position.
Right.
So for all 12 full-time employees,
That's made up primarily of EMTs and paramedics.
correct. If you'd like to see this, I can pass it around and see the actual numbers.
Could you email this to it?
Yeah.
That's what, I can't look at these things that quick and come to.
Right. And trying to print them, I'm trying to conserve some paper, so I wasn't, they're kind of scrunched up, some of these papers are, so if you're looking at them, maybe kind of hard to read. Any questions about the overtime or any schedule questions?
Is there more months that you have more overtime than other months?
As far as like an average,
No, I mean, as far as overtime period. Like say, do you have more in the first quarter of the year, second quarter, third quarter?
not that scheduled. Everything is consistent. As far as being scheduled, overtime is consistent from week to week.
Mhm.
There are months that we do additional training and meetings and things that we will have the overtime.
Mhm.
We meet to have our monthly or bi-monthly EMS training, and audit review. We do that bi-monthly, so that's usually anywhere from 2 to 4 hours of overtime. So bi-monthly on that, depends what pay period it is, obviously. We do additional training outside of that. There's not really a routine or schedule to say 1 month is more than the other than our typical bi-monthly meetings, which bi-monthly, we just had one in November. So we'll have one again in January and then March, so on and so forth. So as you can see, going back to Q3 of 24, it's something we've been working on, not just since last time we met. It's a process that we've been looking at for some time. One of the other questions that was brought up was about Deaconess helping subsidize EMS. I believe Kayla replied to that email after she had to look up in the contract. Deaconess does help subsidize the county, or I'm sorry, help subsidize the hospital, and it's up to the hospital board to say where those funds go to. So it's not that it's not for EMS, and Deaconess gives it to the hospital board decides how it's dispersed. So they could allocate all that to EMS if they choose to, or they could split it up into different departments. And we're looking anywhere, I think it was 50 to 75,000 a year, correct? So not a substantial amount compared to our losses in EMS.
think at the beginning of the year, we had requested to meet with the board, Jared, and he wouldn't let us. So we weren't even able to have these discussions with him
with the-
about this.
With the board,
Board.
We wanted to
unfortunately, I
meet with
can't
them.
speak to that. That Jared said, no, I wouldn't know why.
That's what we were told.
I hate that. I hope that's not accurate. Maybe there was a misunderstanding, hopefully. Any insight to that?
I can forward you the emails.
Okay.
Because I'm the one that requested it. He didn't seem to think there was a need.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's just a large amount of money of bad debt. Of who's responsible, and is it in writing that the county should be responsible for the bad debt, and whose decision was it that it should be the county's responsibility?
The contract doesn't specify which line item is paid by who. The county appropriates money, and that's what the county is required to pay. Any part in addition to that, what's appropriated is why I'm here.
And I think that's what I remember seeing the email of, we wanted to review the contract because it was very non-specific of what the responsibilities were. And now here we are expected to pay something that wasn't discussed.
Well, the way the contract reads, you don't have to pay it. This is us requesting out of good faith, hopefully, that you can see our numbers and that we're losing money doing the service and help us out so the hospital's not, it's on one of my papers, I promise. Year-to-date, $234,986 loss after county subsidies. That was closing November.
200 and what?
234,986.
It's on the back page of that.
I'm sure there's some
email.
change.
I've got that for you.
On the income statement, if you're looking at the net loss of the 519,968, that's our total loss before the 285 county subsidy. So the difference is that 234,986.
Plus December.
It was my understanding that December typically falls on
So it
the
gets
following
paid in
year.
January.
So it's
So,
kind
okay,
of
so,
December to
This is the
November.
final.
so this is actually, what showed up in January was December's of 24,
Correct.
to come to these totals.
Right, yeah, the January's P and L statement was actually,
Paid in January. It's paid.
December's is paid in January,
Right.
January's is paid in
It's a month
February.
behind.
Because usually I asked Megan nicely to try to get our budget done before today so I can bring it with me tonight. Typically, this is about the time she usually gets it done, so it wasn't too much of a struggle for her. But, usually mid-month is when the previous month closes, and by the time we get it to you guys, it goes through the processes. I don't know who all has to see it to actually write the check.
So we probably still, I know I don't know how their home office allocation has worked out between the relationship. But that's a discussion we probably need to have with the board because it was projected to be substantial. And 50 or 75,000 is a fraction.
Oh, you're talking about
The whole home
money from
office.
Deaconess, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Through the arrangement they had. So that's where an engagement with the board, discussion of these things.
It's my understanding that the money from Deaconess is based on the money that Deaconess receives on our behalf.
Right.
Through whatever.
Right.
Cost reporting.
They can shift some burden over to the, because they're like the managing end of it, they can do that, whereas the hospital, the way it's explained to me, as an independent entity, as they were running before, could not do that cost shift. And whatever they could make with that shift, they were going to share or give it to the hospitals what it was explained to me, so. But it was a substantial amount.
Gotcha.
Projecting.
It was my understanding that it was 50% Deaconess was receiving.
Is what they were
They were
sharing.
sharing back to Perry County. So, I mean, half of 50 or 75, or twice that. I don't know what you consider substantial, but it's
It's
pretty
quite
big
a
chunk
bit
of
more,
change.
more than that.
Yeah.
So that's why we probably need to engage with the board, if the entire board for this discussion. As far as I know, we haven't received any subsidies from that arrangement for the past 2 years. And we paid whatever the bill was presented in front of us, so.
Correct. In 2024, it was, the commissioners and council approved, basically the hospital had a net zero at the end of the year, or end of November.
I think in 23 and 24, I know we used our tribal funds. We used some opioid funds, I think, too, to do
There was
that.
2 or 3 funds with pulled
Yeah.
from.
But we paid whatever the invoice was submitted to us at that time. We felt, that's why we were trying to get a little more control on our costs, because it's really difficult.
And putting $100,000 a year back for equipment.
So,
The $519,000 loss, or the expense was actually less than what our projected budget was that we submitted back in July. I think it was, off the top of my head, 560 something, 563 was our projected cost. So we're actually better than our projected loss.
what still really amazes me is how we can, because I looked it up, I think July, we were in pretty good shape. And between July and November now,
There was a large sum.
yeah,
A
'cause
big
I was thinking
increase.
we were almost to break even at that point.
I don't know about the break even. In July, we had showed a $50,000 income, but in July, June, May, April, we had no bad debt adjustments. So we had 4 months of no bad debt adjustments. And then it hit hard in October was a real bad month. That was when we had the 123,000. That was we discussed that when I was here last. Year to date, our average for bad debt is 18,000 a month.
See, and we got it for November here, I'm looking at this $532 for bad debt.
Right.
We're still losing 47,000.
Which is our average for the year is 47,270 per month loss. So we're right on our typical month, I guess you could say. And again, if you recall, the bad debt was basically people not paying their bills that's been sent to collections. So of the $441,000 that we've submitted for billing to the patients, I'm sorry, year to date, 4.8 million, $250,000 of it has been wrote off in bad debt. That amount has been sent to collections, hoping we get something out of it. And if you look back at past P&Ls, there are some months that show a negative, so we actually made money. That would be the money we received from collections. That kind of counteract that negative the month before.
Is that a normal trend certain times of the year, the bad debt?
No, unfortunately, and we're working with our billing company, Quick Med Claims, QMC. They don't have a regular submission to bad debt or to send off their bad debt to the collection agency. They just kind of right now, whenever they want to. We're trying to work with them to have something on a
regular schedule.
regular schedule, so we don't have big months like October of $123,000. So hopefully we spread that out over the month, each month, so one, it doesn't look like we lost $200,000 in a month, but
And who is it that does that?
QMC, they're a third-party billing company, they're an EMS agency billing company. They're headquartered in Pittsburgh, and they do nationwide business. We have our monthly touch point, they call it, or meeting with them bi-weekly, usually on a Thursday, just to go over what's going on, what we would like to see different, what the reports are looking at, things like that. And that's what we discussed, trying to get this fixed to where
What did they tell you?
they're working on it. Unfortunately, being in Pittsburgh, I can't just walk in and say, hey, what's going on?
I don't know if it'd make any difference. but-
Probably not, but if I thought it would, I'd probably try it, but I don't think Kate's gonna pay me to drive to Pittsburgh.
Well, we'd end up with that on our bill. and we
Yep.
don't have that either, so. I think we need to have a discussion with your board if you want to suggest that, or I can reach back out to them and see what.
I can suggest it, I'd be happy to.
Why don't both of you? You and you both.
See who gets the best response. I can do that.
One other thing we talked about last time was our truck expense that's continually high. Again, I didn't make copies and I apologize, but I'll be happy to spread this around. Kind of breaks down our total maintenance cost for each truck, 2024 versus 25. Medic 2 that we reference here, that's the truck that was purchased in 2024. That's got the blue wrap on it now with, don't quote me on this, but I believe that was purchased with ARP money.
Yes.
So you can see, excuse me, it's significantly less both years as far as cost. So far being a new truck, preventative maintenance, oil, lube filter, some tires, nothing major. We did hit it, one of our crew members did hit a deer last fall, busted a headlight. So it, that was a couple $100 to replace that, but not as far as engine maintenance, it hasn't had to have any big overhauls or repairs, whereas several of the other trucks are definitely creeping up in there.
How many of those trucks are on rotation?
All of them,
All of them?
when they're up and running, they're all, we don't have a set, this truck on this day, but we have frontline trucks and it's whichever one's kind of, we don't want to put all the miles on a brand new truck, obviously, to wear it out right away. To have a set rotation, we don't, it's whatever's available. Usually we don't have the option to have all 5 trucks readily available, ready to go. We have the 4 trucks that are, so we have 4 monitors, 4 stretchers, and we don't have the 5th to have all 5 trucks ready to go. So if one goes out of service, we put the stuff on the 5th truck to have it in service, whether it's going out for maintenance or whatever the case may be. We still have the 4th, typically.
And you keep 2 active as much as you possibly can, is what you're on each shift, right?
Correct. One still here at the hospital and one at the North Station. Right now, we're down to 2 trucks due to maintenance issues on the other 3. So we're kind of skimping by at the moment. One is out for a major engine overhaul. One, don't quote me on this, Jason's sitting here, he's gonna call me out if I tell you wrong. There was a bracket, alternator bracket was broke, causing the pulley or something to bust a hose or tear a hose and leak coolant out. And it's a whole big thing trying to get that particular bracket for that model truck and engine. Luckily he was able to find one, but it's been out of service probably 2 weeks now. And hopefully maybe by the first of the year, back in service.
I appreciate that information.
Getting
It's
parts
good.
sometimes is a nightmare.
It's good to keep track of that. I agree. I would like to meet with the board. Like I said, I know it was requested earlier in the year and it was denied. Just for the county, I mean, we can set a budget, but if if things keep on getting thrown at us that we're responsible for, we just need to know and budget for it. Like, that's all we need to know.
Sure. Not to be that guy, but we
I
need to
know.
see the budget, what will our expected costs. We're actually in less than that. Not by much, but still less. And I know that you guys don't actually set the final numbers for that, but
I know, but even as a citizen, not in my position, looking at this bad debt of 201,000, you know, if you take that out of there, out of the 234, I mean, that's a lot different a picture, and as a taxpayer, I don't like that my tax dollars are paying other people's bills that they aren't paying, So
I
we've
get
gotta-
that completely. I'm not too excited about it either.
especially when the county's scraping where we're at to have to pay bad debt. So,
Unfortunately, we can't refuse our service when they call.
I understand that, absolutely.
We get to take them to the hospital if needed.
I understand that.
With, I mentioned the ARP money for the truck that we do have. I believe there were some other, I know we were talking about getting another stretcher and we decided not to, that 4 trucks was sufficient. We got the Lucas devices and some other things. I believe there was also in the works for a second new truck purchase. Do we know the status on that vehicle? I believe it was a remount from one of the old trucks that we had.
Yeah, we've got it.
We've got it.
And it can be, I mean, we can, that's another discussion we need to have with the board, because there was some offers about the county giving all of their equipment to the hospital, and I don't, just the consensus from what I've read, I don't think we'd be interested in giving away all of our equipment, because in 4 or 5 years, at the end of that term, we would have 0 equipment, and I don't know how we funded them, so. It was an offer from the board. I think that just needs to be discussed with them.
Right.
There's a
Also,
lot
in
needs to
that
be discussed.
Particular agreement was that any county-owned property that was given to the hospital would also revert back to the county at the end of its service life or at the end of that contract.
Well, one of the problems with that scenario is generally a used ambulance isn't worth a lot, as you're aware of. The equipment inside of the ambulance itself is
Sure.
not inexpensive, and it has a certain service life, and then all of a sudden you can return it, but it's of little or no value, and then we are faced with multiple ambulance purchases and multiple equipment for the inside of them, and I'm not sure where we come up with the money.
Are you concerned with the hospital breaking that agreement, or are you breaking that agreement with the hospital at that time if that were to happen? You said you're concerned about having to buy trucks all at once.
Well, that agreement only lasted for 4 or 5 years, and there's nothing that extends it at that. It was a reasonable rate, but there was no commitment for the hospital or the county to continue on with that after that period of time. So you have to kind of consider where we'd be at. Let's say it's 4 years, we have no equipment, everything's old, obsolete, and then we have to re-outfit 4 ambulances. We're going to be looking at $1.2 to $1.5 million.
Mhm.
That
If you're
time.
lucky.
Yeah,
Then divide that back by 5 years, and next thing you know, we had 300,000 to the low price we had, and we're back up there where we're looking at your 500 again. So it puts the county in an uncomfortable situation if they have no equipment. And then the next thing is, a lot of times getting these ambulances, it's not an overnight trick. It's not easy to do.
you know, we were fortunate enough to have the ARP funds
Right.
to upgrade and update and put all of the new,
The last I
equipment in the
heard,
ambulances,
to
it was
purchase a brand new
really,
ambulance is still
it couldn't
12
have fell
months
at a
plus
better
for a
time.
brand new one, whereas
Right.
remounts are obviously quicker.
Mhm.
But even at that, they got to line up for remounts anymore too, so you
Right.
can't, unless somebody's done it on their own and you can buy somebody else's box with chassis underneath it, it takes 6 months or longer
We've had really good luck though with the people we're dealing with in Tennessee,
Yeah.
correct?
so far. So, let's talk to the hospital board. I got one quick question for you. When you make a run to a nursing home, whether you're transporting there or returning them, are you compensated for that?
Yeah. Compensated, I mean, we sit in the,
Because a lot of
say
times
insurance,
I see
most
a
of the
fair
time it's
amount of,
insurance.
I see calls back and forth, picking up, taking out, taking from there back again quite often. I'm just curious whether that,
If we're going there to get a patient, it's typically a 911 call, and most of the time, insurance is gonna pay for that. Getting them back is typically, like Oakwood, for example, is their responsibility if they don't require an ambulance. You know, patients that might require an ambulance are someone that's altered level of consciousness that couldn't safely sit in a wheelchair, or maybe they've got a back fracture or hip fracture, they can't sit. I know it's a very close transport, but still, you have a broken back or hip, you're not gonna wanna sit up.
Right.
So that would require an ambulance. Insurance is gonna pay for that. The patients that can sit in a wheelchair, Oakwood or even Brickyard, they do have a wheelchair van that they will come and get patients and bring them back after they're discharged.
so you're getting compensated whenever you're doing that.
We don't get compensated for them, Oakwood picking up.
No, I'm just talking about-
When we transport the patient, we do get
Yeah.
compensated.
I'm just-
I mean, just, we get compensated the same as if we pick you up and you pay your bill versus we pick you up and you don't pay your bill. So to say,
No, wait a minute, the guy's not paying his bill, you're not getting compensated. You may be billing. but you're not
well,
getting
I can't
compensated.
say that, well, I don't know then, because if we send somebody a bill and that you decide not to pay it, yeah, we're not getting compensated, but we're trying to get compensated for our service. I can't make you pay your bill. There's no repercussions to not paying your bill anymore. Nobody reports it to the credit bureaus, doesn't hit your credit report, it affects zero. So to say we for sure are getting compensated for these, no. But we should be.
Okay.
I did not know that.
Any other questions for Leonard? All right. Thank you, Leonard.
Thank you.
Warren, you're up, the next one on the list.
I'm here tonight representing the Parks Board. I think at our last commissioners meeting, Cindy Taylor with a Y and I talked to you about Eagles Bluff. Cindy reached out and got one bid on what a gate would cost. And I went before the CVB board last week and presented it to them, see if they would help, maybe possibly help fund getting a gate, since Eagles Bluff is, we feel that it's part of the tourism for this county. So, and they asked me to try to come up with a second bid. Mayor Kale gave me a name of a company in Jasper, and I called them and talked to them, and that's Astro Security out of Jasper, about a gate and possibly cameras. Talked to Doug Fisher from Astro, and he said they don't handle gates. He recommended another firm who's gave us the bid to start with for the gate. He says cameras, he is right now running 4 to 5 months behind on the work that they've got, and he doesn't want to take on any new customers. And he said he's been past Eagles Bluff and been up there, and he says that might be a problem with cameras as far as setting them up and being able to monitor. Now the gate, we talked earlier, I think at the meeting, about if somebody's caught up there, they can get out. And our concern was, well, if there's a panic button or some kind of monitoring where they have to push to get out, somebody can push that same button and go in. I found out that this gate is set up with pressure pad. Somebody can't just walk in, jump up and down and trip it. It's gotta be a vehicle to hit that pad for that gate to open up, so that would take care of our issues. If somebody can get caught up there after hours with a vehicle and they wanna get out, they drive down, the car will set the gate, open the gate for us. But the board would like to know if we could have your approval to go ahead and try to seek additional funding to take care of getting the gate without going through the county council, because the funding next year is really tight. And the CV board, I think, is on board with helping with some of it, hopefully all of it. But I just want your all's approval to go ahead and
Where would you look for that type of funding, Warren?
CV board, well,
No, I mean,
besides CVB, it'd be, ask some of the industries around here if they would be willing to help, because, the county don't have the money for it, and you know, to keep the park open, and I'm one of those that I like to use that park too on weekends, so this is one way if they can get that gate and have it on an electronic timer, but it opens up at 6 o'clock in the morning and shuts at 7 or 8 o'clock at night. I think that would cover most of the time people would want to be up there anyway.
yeah, it's got the emergency override keypad on it.
I got two quick questions. What's your, do you have any idea what the annual maintenance is on a gate like that?
They did not put down any type of maintenance.
Do you know what happens to it? The second thing is, are you not gonna be saving some hours? Because you're
We're gonna be saving hours for the parks employees, so
right, so
they
they
don't
don't
have to go up there
Right.
every morning and go up,
open and close.
open and close.
Every evening, 7 days a week.
Yeah,
So you are gonna have some cost savings there. on
yes, yeah, cut back quite a bit, hopefully, on, the budget for overtime,
They
Yeah,
don't
because
get
those-
paid overtime.
comp time.
Those gates
That way
aren't
we
cheap.
We still got them doing, mowing grass, doing what they need to do, not taking time off because they built up all this comp time over the year.
Yeah, the gate alone is, well, I guess the gate and the keypad and everything's $14,390.
Yes. And I approached the CVB for 15,000 just because usually there's going to be overruns probably, and they didn't have no problem. They discussed it, and the board members from CVB that I talked to, I think they're in favor of it. So we're just wanting approval that we can go ahead and pursue the issue to try to get this gate up so we can.
I think this all came about when we were discussing hours. Has a
Yes.
decision been made on the hours?
No, because our last meeting, only 2 people was available, so we had to cancel because we didn't have a quorum for the December meeting, so it won't be discussed until January again, but I think right now they're trying, Greg and Jake, trying to work it around and try to keep it open as much as possible right now.
I mean, in my opinion, until we know the schedule, I don't want to really approve any money if we don't know the schedule yet.
Yeah. Well, that's the reason we're looking for funding,
Yeah,
so we don't have
he
to
just
go
wants
through
approval
the
for
council.
funding, if he can go out and look for funding.
What if they decide to keep it open 24 hours?
So
Well, if we have the gate on it, then we can still shut it, it'll still shut at a certain time if somebody's up there. I mean, they don't need to be up there after dark,
no,
you know,
you're not allowed in the cemeteries after dark, and you shouldn't be allowed at those parks after dark.
yeah, and this is
Too much
one way with the
vandalism.
gate. It's set on a timer, it opens up at a certain time, and signs will be posted. The gate will close at a certain time. And if they get caught up there, if they get caught up there at their vehicle after the gate closes, the pressure pad, when they drive down, the gate will open up, they'll be able to come out.
I don't have any problem looking for funding.
No,
Okay,
make a
It's not
motion to
gonna
do
impact
that.
the county's budget, and I
Right.
think if it works to keep the gate, or monitor that park, then the times can always be adjusted.
yes.
Others, thoughts?
If,
Okay.
yeah, it's a good idea.
Okay, well, thank you.
Do you need to make a motion on that, Randy? For them too?
Yeah, I guess if we can, then we'll allow the Parks Board to seek funding for the gate.
Right.
I'd entertain
I make a motion.
a motion.
Second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Have at it.
Okay, thank you.
Mindy, last line, reassessment.
I'm having a technical difficulty. If you could move on to the next one, my hearing aid battery just went dead and I won't be able to hear you without that.
All right. Next one is the Forest Service Agreement at Mano Point. I think Steve's got that, or Pam's got it, or.
Just to renew our annual agreement, we have them clean ramp at Panel Point. Last year, we spent $5,261.75. I believe it was on maintaining that.
Primarily, you just
We just
clean out
ramp.
the
Yeah,
silt.
they take care of the mowing and
Yeah.
the bathrooms and everything. We just clean the mud off the ramp each time whenever it needs.
Depending on what the road is.
Right.
Very much appreciated. I hear lots of positive comments of people that use Mano Point, so thank you.
There's a lot of people use that, a lot more than I thought.
Yeah, I believe it is.
Mhm.
I was
It's
up
a
there
nice-
last weekend.
it's a nice
7
car.
trucks sitting there.
Mhm.
I was kind of surprised that many there, duck hunters, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
I think Ozzy, last year, just your signature. That's all we need.
You guys okay with it? I'd entertain a motion to continue the, whatever we call that, after cleaning off the ramp at Mano Point in conjunction with the Forest Service.
I'll make a motion.
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Now, Pam, do you fill this in and take it to them, or just Steve?
Chris submitted it last year. Do you have that, Jeff, to the force? I think it just needs to go to him. Here's his
Mine
Jeff.
are dead. I don't know.
And he did say he didn't need any of the numbers since it was non-funded.
Okay.
Our equipment rental rates for next year haven't changed since this year. I just want to get you guys approval on that. We didn't raise them any this time.
We
We
just
raised them last
Equipment
year.
rental.
We just need to approve those rates, and then my understanding is you use those on, like your grants,
Yeah.
and highway restricted funds and those things, it's the billing. Just,
When was the last time you raised those, Steve?
Last year,
Last year? Okay.
they're cheap.
Yeah, I didn't know when was the last time they'd been raised. 'Cause
So
it
do we
does
need
look
to
really
approve
cheap.
that?
Yeah.
I'd entertain a motion to approve the county equipment rates for 2026.
Okay.
I'll make a motion.
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I just want to give, thank you, I just want to give you an update on FEMA. They're going to be at the office Thursday to file the final paperwork. I don't know for sure how much we're going to get. I think it's only going to be around $60,000, 62,000 maybe.
Is that on the slide?
Or
The slide?
they denied the slides.
All of them?
Yeah.
What is this for?
They got away. That's for debris removal on the roads, and that's pretty much it, just debris removal. They, on the slides, I thought we were gonna get help on some of them, but when they came and looked at them, they said they might be pre-existing, and if I offer money that's pre-existing, they talked about lawsuits, so I thought, they got a way of getting out of a lot of things,
They'll
in
pay
my
you,
opinion.
they'll pay you for taking debris off the road, but not to fix the slide. That
Right.
makes no
Yeah.
sense to me.
I can't decide if a slide is pre-existing or not. It's a problem. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Steve. Next item I got is we've been playing this game forever. Are you ready? Come on up.
Can you hear now?
I can hear you now. I'm just back to just approach again about our statistical reassessment bid that we put out for bid based on the specs that we did. We published, advertised.
I think what we'd like to see, Mindy, is if you could take and create an RFP that changed from the automobile and the camera, taking the pictures, to utilizing an overflight and a desktop review with a requirement to go out there if there's a tree limb or something in the way. I think there's several vendors. We only had one that bid on the other. And just to see what they would present price-wise to us, to see where that's at.
My only concern with that, and I will do diligence, but my only concern is we're in the end of December with the holiday. That's gonna be January. We would have to put out bids for the flyover before March 1. I have to start my statistical reassessment May 1, but we start getting the process together in mid-March. I feel like I don't know that we could even have a flyover ready to even start by May 1. And that's my concern.
Well, I don't know that we're gonna be able to bid the flyover, because I've talked to 3 or 4 different vendors and they all use Eagle View.
You just said you wanted to get different vendors,
Again,
because you only got one, so.
we have one company that does all the flying for the state of Indiana, probably, as far as this oblique imagery, and that's Eagle View. Now, from their data that they collect, to putting it into a suitable form for you to do your, whatever you do, there needs to be a vendor. Tyler said they would do that. That's something they would do. They do it in several counties already in the state.
Right.
There's several other vendors that I think do similar work. And if we simply ask those people for a quote to take that flight data and turn it into a situation that it's workable for you, then we'll take bids on that wedge amount between the flight and your office.
But again, I'm still concerned with Eagle View being able to, this late in the game, having anything ready to review.
I think, this
I
is,
mean, unless you've already got this deal worked out and they've already flown it, I don't see us getting that data in time.
Eagle View offers a service for Perry County currently,
And have we contracted with them already? That's my question.
but that means it's already been flown.
When was it flown?
I don't know the date, I just know that it's an option that you can buy, because some of the insurance companies, different vendors that sell and offer service products, have that app on their screen and they can pull it up and they can look. So that means it's been flown.
Yeah.
I don't know at what time. But we'll get through that, but if we continue to put this off with the RFP, we won't make it. But I think we should try to see if we can get something put together so we can actually allow those bids to come in.
So you're requesting an RFB that replaces field review with desktop review.
It's probably what it is. I don't know what your other RFP stated. I
You've
tried
got a
to,
copy of it.
I do.
You did. I sent you a copy of all of that. I sent a copy to all of you and all the council per your request
I must have
the
missed
first
it.
time I came to the meeting.
Of what was actually requested for bid.
Right. Based on the specs that what we had. And
So that should be simple enough. You just basically want to take out, instead of field in a vehicle with a camera, you will take the data.
But you know we're not gonna replace that 100%, right? It's based on this flyover.
If we
With
have,
3/4 of our county being wooded.
if we have wood in the way in some place, the individual company would have to go out and physically visit that site and probably make an appointment with whoever the property owner is, so they don't find themselves on the wrong side of an issue, so.
Okay. So again, let me reiterate this. You want me to get an RFB that includes all of the other things that we have in here, but replacing data review with a desktop review.
Utilizing the aerial pictometry in
At the
place.
desktop.
Yes, with the requirement, if it's not conclusive, they would have to visit the actual site.
Making sure we're all on the same page again. So when would you like for this RFB to be in place?
Sooner the better. I mean, there's no reason.
Do I need to bring it back to you to review
If you could
before
send-
I
if you
put
could
it out for bid?
If you could send it to us, that would be great. Or you can put it out for bids and send it to us, and we'll read through it as the time goes on, whatever your preference is.
I'd like to review it. If you could send it to us.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item up we have is it's the solid waste concrete. I've contacted multiple people. I do have one bid. It's from JPS Contracting, and what it is a pad in the walls, and what's required, they gotta move a little sod, and put a little rock in and pour some concrete so we can set the new compactor up at Canton. So I have one bid.
And it's also going to not be as nasty for people to just drive around.
Eventually, yes.
And it'll all be on concrete.
It'll be looped around.
Mhm.
Well, we'll see how our money holds out, one step at a time. But
Yeah,
I'd like to get this, it's got into winter on us now, but I'd like to get this approved and get them on the agenda to start it as soon as they can. So
To be paid
prices,
out
17,000. What?
of? To be paid out of?
It comes out of the money in the general fund that we
For
set
the
aside.
ARPA?
the ARP funds.
It's the what we switched, so it's not actually out of the ones in that ARP account anymore.
Yeah, but it's the general fund ARPA dollars.
And what was that, Randy?
17,000 even. Any,
What's the company?
JPS contract. John Trainer.
They're out of the
who
county.
owns he's here local, and he built a little barn for the girls softball over at,
Mm-hmm. He also did work for us at the animal shelter.
so.
Make a motion?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve that. All those in favor?
All right.
Okay. The next one is PSC has, in their billing, had made some errors through the years, and they are interested in rebating a little bit of money to us, and all I need to do is get it on the books that we're willing to accept their check, and anyone else that wants to send us money, we're accepting donations. So that's, it had to
Send
do
some
with
to
the
Tobin's
billing
Sport.
error that they had, so. I just need to get an okay on that.
I make a motion.
Second that?
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Next one is, on our list is EMA Director. What I want to start out with is, I want to thank both Steve Hauser and Sandy Jarbo. They've been here longer than I've been alive, jointly, not individually. About 70 years of service between them. I don't know who's been here longer, but they've served the community, and I want to thank them. It's a little operation that kind of stays out there and does its thing, and there's not a lot of issues. So I
Absolutely.
wish them well in their retirement, and I know they're both still in town, and look forward to seeing them out on the streets. So with that said, we received notice from them in right at the end of October, 29th, 30th, somewhere in that age. And at that time, then we started advertisement. Here in the county, we are required to go before the council to approve anything that's replaced as far as the job's concerned. I visited the council on November 20th to get their approval during this period of time, we've been advertising, got quite a bit of interest in both positions. As a board, we drafted questions to make sure we're in compliance with federal law. Didn't ask anything we can't. We reviewed their resumes, we conducted interviews, and we had quality candidates.
We have 3 excellent candidates.
I think we were fortunate here with that. One of the things, we're going to have to vote on it this evening, one of the things that stood out is we had one candidate that had experience in budgeting. He had been in government, had to deal with this, and government's different than the private sector, trust me. He had experience in that and ran a budget. He also had quite a bit of experience in emergencies. And when you're an emergency management administrator, it's not a planned event. It happens, you have to react, and you have to save lives, save buildings, save whatever, and it has to be quick and efficient. And he has experience with that. He also has 29 years of experience as an EMA assistant director. So he has the credentials for what he applied for. Before I go any further, I'd entertain a motion to appoint our director.
I make a motion.
Name?
Second that?
Greg Lenny is the guy that we feel like fits the position, and he's the one that we picked. And we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of appointing Greg to that position?
Aye.
Aye.
I do want to thank the other 2 applicants, and hopefully they can work with Greg on different things pertaining to EMA, and I think it'll work out well.
Greg, you want to come up here a minute and just, so I think everybody in town knows you, but in front of the camera will get you broke in.
And like Randy was saying, we had 3 excellent candidates there. Some people have stronger points than others, weaker points than others. But all in all, I was very, very impressed with all 3 candidates. I really was.
I agree. Quality people in the county.
Mhm.
I know both of them, so no issues.
I appreciate everybody that applied. It takes a special person to step up to an elected position. And I appreciate everybody that did, and hopefully the county as well. Thank you.
I look forward to it.
Maybe you can give them a little
Congratulations.
bit of your background.
Where I start.
Well, I mean,
I remember 1976, 77. I was little, born in 71. My dad come home with a box. He just got on the fire department at Tell City. And from that day on, wide open. I went to meetings as a Cub Scout and sit there with him and hung out with him, and it's been nonstop. Actually, I joined EMA in 95. A short period after high school, I worked out of town, so when I moved back to town, or come working back in town, I joined EMA and started there in 95. Fire department in 97. Police department also in 95. Was full-time Tell City Police from 2000 to 2015. So, and fire chief at Tell City since 2006. So,
well, congratulations.
Thank you. Welcome.
Welcome,
Thank you.
Greg.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Next item we have on our list here is our logo, and Christie here, RJL.
You. I am honored and excited to present your new brand. There were several weeks of, I'm sorry, let me get you the brand guide as well. So I'm handing you the official logo and the brand guide. This brand guide serve as not a restriction, but to maintain consistency as you work with this brand. So just a little background, the new brand identity is the result of several weeks of work and collaboration. Input was gathered from the 5-person committee with councilors Harding, Philly, and Gothinet, Commissioner
Jaminski.
I know how to say it. I didn't practice it several times. Jaminski, I'm so sorry. Also, Perry County CVP Director Eric Treader was involved. This emphasizes Perry County's respect for the land, heritage, and community while embracing progress and opportunity. It represents a balance of authenticity, nature, and it has a welcoming spirit. The logo symbolizes the sunrise for optimism and renewal, layered hills for landscape, trees, and water for outdoor recreation and conservation. The color palette is earth tones reflecting nature and heritage. The typography is Poppins Family. Again, the primary logo for the official communications is at the top. That's the bigger version. And I wish we could put it up for everyone to see, but
This, I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's really nice.
Pass it around.
so yeah, or I can pass it around. I can pass it around.
It's very nice.
Sure. And you'll actually be able to see it. It'll be released tomorrow officially, so
Okay.
it will be out there. The usage guidelines for official communications, you'll use the top. Then the secondary logo will be for if space doesn't allow, or if you need an alternate, or for departments to use. Next steps, the media will release this logo tomorrow with anticipated publication on Monday, December 22nd. The website update is in progress with Ann Island LLC. There are quotes being obtained for a logo decal behind the dais here. And just requesting a vote from you all to adopt it.
I like it.
Or if you have any questions.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt the logo as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
And thank you for
Thank you so much.
everything you're doing.
You all did all the work. I know there was several meetings there, lots of discussion. If you'd like, I can give a short update. Jonathan just gave me a few things
Sure.
to continue
While
our
you're
work
here.
here as economic development. December 1st, we facilitated a conversation with Senator Young with this county. Several of you were present at that. I think Perry County was very well represented at that meeting. We are continuing to review documents related to the 61 acre tract south of Wapaka. Legal's reviewing legal came back with the property analysis that found no record supporting Wapaka's claim. And we requested supporting documentation from them and also the former Lido, just to see if we can figure that out. Community engagement, there's a community survey to gather input on growth, challenges, housing, and infrastructure that will be released on Monday, December 22nd on social media. We really encourage everyone to let us hear your voice. We want to hear what you think, and that's how everyone makes decisions up here. So we also have a draft tax abatement policy prepared for the county council. And if you have any questions for me, I'm going to try to answer.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item up is the minutes from 12/2/2025. Any additions, modifications?
Did they get updated?
I think she
I
did.
think I seen the email. Okay.
Yeah.
I make a motion.
Abstain.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next item is paying our bills. We have a payroll for 12/05/2025 in the amount of $185,416.08.
I'll make a motion.
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Payroll withholding for the same date, 12/05/2025 in the amount of $39,814.99.
Make a motion.
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
A payroll for 12/19/2025 in the amount of $187,547.78.
I make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Payroll withholding for that same date, 12/19/2025 in the amount of $40,578.31.
I make a motion.
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Health claims for $70,409.11.
I make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Solid waste claims for 12/16/2025 in the amount of $610.72.
I make a motion.
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The claim docket for 12/16/2025 in the amount of $996,125.56.
I make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
CVET and FIT distributions under HEA 1392. FIT is the financial income tax. And CVET is what?
Because, the commercial vehicle excise tax.
That's not a, that's not a road, it's a road tax, isn't it?
It's a vehicle tax.
Is that
We get that twice a year. So with the HEA 1392, the House Enrolled Act, it simplified the distribution process for both the commercial vehicle excise tax and the financial institution tax. County auditors are no longer required to calculate fund levy level allocations. Instead, they will use the state comptroller's report to distribute lump sum payments to eligible taxing units. These
So that
updates-
means you have more time to do other things.
So now, these updates do not affect eligibility, county allocation, as they remain unchanged. Taxing units may deposit CVET and FIT funds into any fund they maintain and use them for any lawful purpose. So basically, I need you guys to tell me how you want me to proceed in depositing these funds. If you
Where were
want-
they originally?
Currently, we have a breakdown, and that's what I gave you. We get this twice a year, typically in May and December. And it's based on the prior year's, calendar year's collections. A lot of counties have been just distributing it the same way. I've had some that have decided to put all of it in their general, because I have done some research with other counties to see what other counties are doing. But I give you guys how we break it down. I broke it down previously, or we can put it wherever you want.
So when does this need to be decided?
I need to know, this will go in effect for I need the 2025 fall settlement, so I still have the CVET and FIT from December for this.
So sometime in December will work.
Well, it's pretty close.
I know, but I don't know.
So we have to submit it by December 31st.
Yeah, we're gonna have a meeting in there. I'm just
Yeah.
thinking,
We'll
we
have
need to
that
consider
done.
the amount of money and whether we want to continue with the distribution where it's currently going or whether we want to change that to something else. These things used to be restricted, did they not, where they could be deposited?
It was based, yeah, they told us.
Yeah, so I don't think we had the
No,
luxury of picking where they went.
this is, now you do. Now you have the luxury. Before, they told us the amounts and where they went.
So
Add it to the December 31st.
I would
this on
like to table it till then.
Okay, will
And
do.
then actually consider the dollars amount and where we might want to place those. Or continue right where they are. But
So we'll table that till 12/31. Gotcha.
next thing up is this whole stack of kids we got here. First one we'll open up is fuel bids. Let's see. These guys need to learn from the road bid guys.
Okay. The first one here is for item 5, 30,000 gallons for police vehicles, and this is from CNS. And they're bidding 8 cents per gallon discount off the posted retail price at the time of fueling the vehicle. So whatever the
Could
price
you
is,
repeat that?
it's 8 cents per gallon discount off the posted retail price at the time of fueling the vehicle.
Which is more than what we get now, because we got 5 cents,
5 or 6, yeah.
5 cents.
Is it?
Yeah.
CNS.
Yeah.
CNS. And this is for another item 6, which is 15,000 gallons, and it carries the same thing. 8 cents off at the retail price.
These are both from CNS?
Yes. Both of them,
One's for sheriff and one's for county.
right. I think that's all that's good here. And this is capable, I see in here, any one of their stations. They have several of them. Okay. Yeah, do that. This is from Synergy. Oh, let's see. This is for premium diesel. And this is something we're gonna,
Would this be for the garage, Steve?
on-road and off-road, we have 2 different prices here. And unleaded gasoline, let's see. This is probably all for out the garage. But the premium on-road, a firm price of $2.62.50. And the flex price is $2.81.79.
To what?
$2.81.79. And this is on-road diesel. And off-road diesel, firm price is $2.628 for a firm price. And the flex price is $2.8209. And unleaded gasoline is $2.0745, and the flex price is $2.0543. And it doesn't include any taxes. The way this always works with these guys, the firm price will be looked at the time of acceptance, subject to market price at that time. And it says add 2 cents for winter formulation. So Steve, it's the same in the past with these guys, is that you have to call them,
Yes.
right,
The day that you're going to accept them, I call them and get a price that day.
that day.
Price changes daily.
Right.
And then I call them back and tell them which one whether you accept it or not.
And that'll lock that in?
Locks it in. And
Okay.
if we're getting a fixed price.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is all. Kind of curious as why the flex price is higher.
I stopped riding because you said, because that.
Yeah. Because usually we pay a little more to have a firm locked-in price.
On the unleaded, it's lower,
Yeah, it is.
but on the off-road, it's higher.
The rest looks like specs. So, we can take these under advisements and then
Do you want me to have this on the 12/31?
put it on there. Then,
Meeting's getting longer.
there you go. That way. Next one up is rock bids.
This is number 2, right?
Pardon?
Item number 2.
This is gonna be a group, this is something we're gonna have to go through. This is from Mulzer's, and they've got a whole slew of prices from the Quarry Temple, the Tower Temple, the Tell City Yard, based on 53s, 73s, 2s, 5s, 7s. This is not gonna be easy to come up with, but do what? Yeah, I
Put it
know.
on the stone.
But we're gonna have to sit down and go through these things to actually determine. Let me just read off for the public so you get an idea where it's at. I'll just do 53s, 73s. Temple Quarry, $13.25. Tower Quarry, $14.80. Tell City Yards at $26.25. And then we got a whole lot of others we're gonna have to look at. They also included a price for hauling of an hourly rate of $140, hauling, spreading, stockpiling on various county roads. So they're gonna make their equipment available if we choose to do that, and that would be their rate per hour. Let's see. And the rest of it is paperwork. The next bidder is from Robertson Stone.
Is that up at Ramsey? Where's Robertson now? Okay.
Let's see, I'm gonna go to 53s. And this is a 53s, and I'm assuming this is at their yard, that's a quarry. $12.80 for 53s or 73s. And their hauling rate is $135 per hour. So, and compare those also.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but our goal was to have more than one option, not just selecting one, correct?
We can actually accept, we don't have to go, because I know at one time we did this on pipe. And if you remember, Steve, when we're in the northern part of the county, it's easier to go to this one when we're at the southern part of the county. Because I know we had that Hancock County over there had culverts, and it was easier for us to go in the south over to Hancock County and pick it up, and in the north, I think you went up towards Du Bois County or something. Putting it together, yeah.
We're doing the hauling at the same time.
So what is this right here?
I don't know what business that is. They didn't put their name on it, but that's their number 2, so that's their stone, and then that's the
So
hauling.
we still have another stone bid here. Do you have another stone bid there?
Yeah, there's 2.
Well, let's get them all out. Let's get
Well,
them
you were
together.
doing the hauling at the same time,
I'm doing it all.
so.
They had it included in their packets.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's see.
this is Seafreak Trucking. And they're bidding rock also. And this is a variant, but as an example, their 53s are at 1170, and their 73s are 1170 per ton. And then they have a quote in here going into different different townships. Varies anywhere from Tobin Township is at $15.50, and the cheapest one would be Oil Township at $11.50 per ton. So my assumption is we add them together, and that would get a delivered price into those townships. Rest. This is gonna take a spreadsheet.
I like spreadsheets.
And they give us another bid, this is 7. Hourly for grading, ditching, and excavating. So, grading, stop by. Their grading, ditching, and excavating bid is $135 per hour. Then they also have a rate for hauling, spreading, and stockpiling on various county roads of $125 per hour. And this is from Seafreeze also. So. This is from C&R Construction. Let me pull out a, they got it broke down, delivered. Theirs is all quoted on delivery to a specific location. So 53s and 73s delivered into Clark Township is $22.50. Oil Township, $22.25. Union, as an example, $24.50. Troy is $30.50. So
That's for the stone and.
stone and delivery into those certain counties. And then they have them broke down depending on the type of stone. So that's why this is going to take.
It's gonna be a lot different.
Well, maybe that. Zach Marks Hauling
Who?
out of Celestine, Indiana. Zach Marks Hauling. So he's so I'm assuming this is stone and hauling. Into Clark Township, 53s is $20.70. Oil, $19.70. As an example, Tobin Troy is $24.65. And their hourly rate, if we so choose, is $125 an hour. So. Got one more. This is C&R Construction.
Because they included their hauling.
Did we
This
just
is,
do?
this is a quote for all kinds of different service. It's good though. Labor, straight time, They've got here $60 an hour, operator straight time 75, superintendent 90, carpenter straight time is 70. They've got a skid loader at 85, an excavator at 100. They have some larger excavators, a Dynapack compactor at $100 an hour, trucks, tools, triaxles. The triaxles at 130 an hour. So got a low boy in there too. So that's good. This is going to take some work, folks, but I want to say something. I truly appreciate all the interest. We got a lot of options, and appreciate you putting the bids and that in. And if we can figure out a way to get more people to work and get our roads in better condition, that's what we want to do. Thank you for submitting all those bids. We'll take those under advisement. We need to get them on a spreadsheet to see where we're actually at on all these. And if we can accept them in some fashion where, similar to what we did with the pipes, so we're in a close area, we can utilize, we're not stuck with just one contractor, and at times that contractor may be busy. So it'll give us some flexibility when we need to call for additional help. So once again, I appreciate all the next thing we have up here is a personnel policy handbook updates. I don't know that we really decided to do that or not. I know it didn't impact a whole lot. More so it was the highway garage, I think, and that was probably it anymore.
A few small things we can go through.
So, I mean, it had to do with the hours and how that was structured, right?
Because I think changes will go in effect January 1st. So we have to do it today.
So are we comfortable with the?
You want to make a comment right now?
Sure. Come up here, Steve.
I'm asking you, please don't do this. It's gonna make my job harder. Guys out there, we're all losing employees. We are getting applications, but it's gonna cause me it's gonna be harder to do my job with this. We get back having more employees, we're gonna try to go working different days or have somebody on Fridays, or, we're gonna try to do that when we get back to close to a full staff.
So in other words, you'll have a couple guys that'll work Tuesday through Friday or something like that.
Hopefully we can figure that out, but with the limited number I got right now, we can't do it right now until we get back to having more workers.
Are you having some more luck with I know you said you had some more applications,
I had
applicants?
2 applications that have a CDL license. I've had the background check done on one and gonna do the other one. And we've had several applications that don't have CDLs, and some of them are interested in it.
Yep.
And
That's
some of them aren't. So hopefully we can get some employees back out there.
Good.
again.
Do you want to table this for a bid? Or what do you think?
I don't think we need to. I think the first one was solid waste. We just go through these real quick.
I think what we did on that one is change how that's written.
Yep,
She modified this, so.
All we need to do is update well, actually, the hours weren't in there.
Yeah, because there's
At
other
all.
stuff in here that needed to be,
Thank you.
not just
Thanks.
You're welcome.
the highway schedule.
So the first one would be solid waste, just adding them into there. They weren't in the handbook at all.
Are we gonna take part of these things? Is that what you're thinking? Or, I think the one that Steve's concerned about is his hourly makeup. I think probably the solid waste issues are
That's
okay.
on page 16.
Do we need to make a motion for each one of them?
I don't, whether we accept everything and table the hourly change. Or
And then you've got the on-call schedule, all that stuff.
Here's my opinion on the schedule for the highway department. I think we keep it the same as is right now, with 2 additions of, I'd like to see online requests for work. I think it'd be easier for us to keep track of the people that are calling in for the requests. We can work with Anjan and make some kind of online request so they come directly to the highway department. So it's easier for you to track. So they're not calling me, they're not calling her, they're not calling Paul. And then we don't have that, well, I told them and I told her. I think that's what's happening right now is whoever yells the loudest is getting the work done. So if we had some type of tracking system, I think would be very helpful for you
I
guys.
just answered the phone, told the Sport County Garage.
Because-
Yeah, no problem.
Because I think what that does is create a record then. And so we know, and it gives people an opportunity rather than a phone call.
And then my other
I
request
think
would just
excellent
be
idea.
either weekly or bi-weekly updates on kind of what's going on at the highway department of what projects you got. And that could be simple as a quick email at the end of the week or the beginning of the week, however you would like to structure that.
And how you're coming along with the employment, as far as getting your staff back up to where it should be.
So I guess my motion would be to keep the schedule as is.
Yeah, until he gets a full staff, or
Appreciate it.
near a full staff, yes.
Motion's out there.
I'd like to.
Everybody need to-
Okay. We've got a motion to keep the highway staff for the time being, currently as it is. And for Steve to get his employees back, the quantity he needs, so. Do I have a second?
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
I think the next one was a on-call schedule at the highway department. I think that is changing. Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, but changing comp time to, like, they'll be paid at least 2 hours for their call out
They're
plus then.
called out, yes. Where right now, I believe there's like 9 take-home vehicles going. I'm trying to remember from this, but not, 9 take-home vehicles. Yeah, and then you would create a schedule and then the on-call, whoever's on call, they would do the take-home vehicles.
Yes.
Am I remembering
Yes,
this
so we-
correctly? And then they get, currently right now, I think the highway was different than everyone else, that they got a minimum of 4 hours and it go directly to time worked, like the sheriff and like the Parks and Rec and all that is on comp time.
Correct.
So anything over 40 hours would be comp time on the on-call schedule. I'm remembering that.
So this created someone to be on call, right?
An on-call schedule,
An identified individual or two
correct.
that is going to take on that.
And
Is
I'll
there-
make another comment.
Sure.
But when it snows, or we have really bad weather, I would say everybody
I
would
need
be
to
on
send you
call.
guys a record of, well, I did the overtime. We get a lot of trees anymore. It's shocking how many trees we have to go cut at night. And I feel like I need to send the closest person to that tree to get some lights flashing to keep someone from hitting it. Somebody getting hurt. That's one thing I've got against this on-call stuff. I need to send whoever can get there the quickest to get some lights there, so, to keep someone from running into that tree at night. And then there's electric lines in them sometimes where we have, it's a dangerous situation every time we go. But there's electric lines in some of them and they have to wear a wall and until the REC get there, certain the power gets there and kills the lines. But I feel like I'm not doing my job if I call somebody at Tobin Sports to go cut a tree at Siberia.
Well, don't call me, I'll be lost.
If it takes, will you go if I call?
I would, but somebody'd have to lead me out there and back.
It takes at least 45 minutes, probably closer to an hour to get from one end to the other on them county road. And I feel like my job is to try to make it as safe as I can. And I don't feel like I'm doing that if I can't close to the tree.
Is
Could
it
you,
possible to create that schedule where you have one person on schedule that's northern and one person that's
that's what I was
southern?
gonna say, is there any way you could, put an on-call person in the northern part and the,
The problem with that is we send two guys to cut a tree because we're out there at night. I mean, we had guys almost get run over before. And, you know, if you get a limb kicks back and hits you, you're out there by yourself. It's not a very safe situation. I feel like we always send two to cut a tree in case, you know, somebody would get hurt.
that's the safety issue of it, yes.
Yeah.
I see that.
Well, the tree can, you know, you can be cutting in the dark, especially you can't see really what you're doing very well, and you know, it might be a lot of pressure on that limb and kick back and.
Kick back on you or saw butt back on you. Seen that
And then you
happen.
need somebody to watch for traffic, keep from running over you.
Yeah.
Well, one guy's cutting, another needs to be watching the traffic.
Yeah.
Steve, also too, a lot of times if it's a great big tree, we gotta go in and get them a piece of equipment to move the tree.
You know, a lot of times we have to, big trees, we have to get excavator or something out, a grader or something out there to move them.
Well, we can look at that, I think.
The problem of it is his staff's short, and I don't know where anybody's located. He may want to have one in the north, but he doesn't have an employee there either. Or the Tobinsport or whatever, that's the problem. But then you don't want to hire according to where you sleep at versus you want to have somebody that's capable of doing the job, so.
To me, it's the safety of, you know, getting somebody there with some light flashing to keep somebody from hitting us is the biggest issue to me about that.
You know.
I mean, I won't send two guys too.
But I know there's, you know, and two, you look at it, if you don't get that tree off the road in time, someone could hit it, you know, as
Yeah.
far as driving too, and that's not a good situation. There's really not an easy answer.
No,
There's not an easy answer to any of it.
There's not, something, yeah, you know, you think about Southern Indiana Power, they have an on-call schedule and their guy may live in Newburgh and have to be called to Bristow. To me, just creating an on-call schedule should be beneficial for the crew of, I know I need to be home on so-and-so weekend. If not, I need to trade with somebody. It seems like that would be better for you to know who's on call and better for the employees to know, hey, if I'm at a wedding, I'm not going to be on call, or if I'm out doing something, I need to be home.
but to me, it all comes down to the safety thing, you know, getting somebody there as quickly as we can. That's my main concern with it.
I think the other thing was of all the vehicles that go home too then, or if we're not, everybody taking them home to be on call, if we have a schedule, then we're only taking a few vehicles and using less fuel.
Most of my guys, I call the closest one, and the ones that don't have a vehicle take their own vehicle. A lot of times they take their own, so, you know, they want to get the tree taken care of as soon as they can. I've got a really good crew of guys out there, and I would like to keep them.
Nobody's saying that
Oh,
by
I
any
know,
means.
I know, but I mean, I would put them up against any highway department in the state of Indiana. They're really dedicated employees.
What are you guys thinking?
I think I'm about to choke over here.
I personally would like to see a schedule, but there's three of us, they have their opinion too, so.
I can see the reasoning behind it. I understand it. Part of this, you know, I don't know. I see both sides of it.
I know it's,
Having an on-call, I know you made mention before, if somebody's had it been a little too festive, they really can't get out and drive to a tree. And I think if you had a schedule on call, then the person he'd have to skip the event or either behave himself or something, or.
It's very rare that happens, and I mean, I never have trouble getting guys to go. And if they've been somewhere and drinking, I tell them, tell me, and I'll call the next guy, and that's always worked out good.
How many are they wanting to put on call?
2, wasn't it? Is that what,
Two, or 2 on one side, 2 on the other, or?
how many, your crew's
Here we
what?
go with 4? Would 4 work?
That's what I thought it was 4, cut it down from 9 to 4.
I think it was.
Try to take 2 of
If they're
the,
on call, they don't get compensated being on call.
That's a good question.
I mean, I'm not gonna sit at home if I'm not gonna get paid. You know, I'm a farmer, so I'm busy all the time. But if Steve calls, I drop everything and go. But I can't sit at home when the sun's shining. And the cell phone service, it's not the greatest.
hopefully, if the sun's shining, we don't have a tree falling down.
The tree falls no matter what. It could be wind blow hard, nothing, dead at night, it will fall.
Have a windstorm or no wind, they still fall.
Yeah, I know. Well, I think if you're gonna be on call, there ought to be some kind of, I know they do that at the other places, there's a stipend pay.
Some type of
you,
compensation.
You know, it's just simply because you are on call, so there should be
Mhm.
something, compensation in that respect.
I think where a lot of this stemmed from was the comp time, correct?
Exactly.
So why don't
Comp time
we
is
just
what's
change
killing
the
us.
comp time to the paid time and just leave your schedule as is and kind of meet in the middle here?
Okay.
Is that doable?
Because the main thing is we get so much accumulated.
Yeah.
And then you don't have your workforce when the sun's shining. Because they have to use it up too. They either use it or lose it.
Right.
So you end up, and I get both sides of that issue too. So however we get around that.
I have a question also. If, say, someone's gonna be on call all the time, when we're not working, so if they're gonna get compensated for that, is that actually still gonna be cheaper to give them the comp time whenever they get called out? You never know when you're gonna get called out.
I think the comp time, I don't know that it's,
Never even get called out.
I don't know that it's cheaper. I think the main thing is having this workforce available. I mean, when you guys get all your comp time and then you're forced into taking it, then he doesn't have the workforce to go out when he needs it to fix a road or do whatever he needs to do. And I think that's the issue. And because we had talked about it one time, even if we have to start paying, just to make sure we have a crew that's available to work when the weather's right. So, I mean, that's part of it. So. So do you want to work a little more on that one?
Well, here it says highway employees called back to work after their normal work hours may be required to be on call. Whether an employee is entitled to on-call pay depends on several factors, including whether employee is required to remain on county. Yeah, so this is different. This is more so. I thought we just changed it to hour for hour.
I think so too. I thought so too.
I thought we just changed it to hour for hour, so I need to get with Wagner, Owen, and Schilling.
So I'm okay with leaving
Okay,
the
on that.
schedule as is and then figuring out what we're gonna do with the, how to pay them instead of the comp time. If it's a
Yeah, I
minimum
mean,
of
if
at
we have
least
to
2
pay, we
hours.
pay.
Yeah, and then,
That's just simple. We'll have to figure out how we're going to do that.
But in here, as far as when they're called out, are we leaving it the same as like right now, when they get called out, they get 4 hours? Where we've got other departments that just get hour for hour. So we leave the 4 hours in here?
I think what was brought up was at least 2 hours, or if they went over that.
Minimum 2 hours. For actual time worked.
Because remember, I think we did the numbers for you of,
It was actually gonna benefit you more.
because they would roll into overtime
Yes, 'cause they were, yeah,
instead of the regular pay.
I do remember that.
So then you're going to pay overtime.
Yes.
Okay.
Comp,
Which you-
not
which you have to-
overtime comp.
Yep.
Because we don't pay overtime, they just get comp time.
Correct.
Yeah, but we've gotta watch.
And the comp time is what was the problem, because we had so much comp time.
And I'm not so sure that at some point here, we may need to start paying instead of letting this comp time accumulate. Because it,
Yeah.
just write a check.
Could there be, I'm just throwing this out there, could there be a certain time period that you have to use your comp time and then you start accumulating more?
Well, we have to use it within a year when we earn it.
Do you think that could be reduced down
I don't
to like a quarter or a,
know, but in the
Half.
winter time, if we have a bad winter, we're gonna have everybody maxing out.
Mhm.
It's a mess. I mean, we have trees all year round, but then if we have
Sure.
a bad winter, then it's,
mhm,
when they originally set this cap, they told me, commissioners at the time, said, if we have a bad winter and we're set at 240, and if you have to go over that to get the job done, we'll change it temporarily until we can get it back down. We've never had to do that. We've been lucky we have never had to increase it.
mhm.
It's, with their vacation and stuff, it's hard to, sometimes if you got a couple hundred hours, it's hard to use that.
Well, if you've got a cap of 240, you're looking at 6 weeks. Then you take the normal holidays off plus the vacation.
Yeah.
You don't have a crew when the sun's
Right.
out.
Yeah.
There's our problem. That's what we have to
I
address.
wish they could either give us the option to either get to pay them or comp time. but
Right. And I think
that's a
that's,
budgeting problem.
Mhm.
so that's something we need to look at is maybe.
That's an option.
Maybe we have to pay.
Yeah, that's an
I don't
option
know.
to pay it out.
Is that clear as mud?
Yeah.
On that one.
Yeah. So we'll revisit that.
Revisit So revisit the on-call, revisit the schedule.
Yes.
Yeah, those are
And we
things.
really need to, I think you gave Becky some comp time hours.
Yes.
Mhm.
So I would like to just take those hours and plug in what it would cost us had we just paid them out. To see what kind of dollars we're looking at.
What was it, 92 or 97? 97, I believe it was.
Per
Average,
employee.
Mhm.
yeah.
Average for each
So just
worker.
put a number in and maybe you don't pay all of them, maybe pay half of them out or something. I don't know.
And have an overtime line item like the sheriff's department
Yeah,
does.
something like that, but
because-
do something in order to deal with it, and because just like he talks about the snow, we don't know if it's winter to winter, whether it's gonna be a bad one or a good one or whatever, and that way you have a little flexibility to keep these hours from getting huge.
I know the
And then you
state
pay.
highway I was told they give them an option, the workers, do you want paid or do you want comp time off? It would be
Seems a
nice
bad
if they
idea.
had that option.
Right. And not let it,
If we got to run in too many hours and they could get paid for it and get
Right.
it back.
Yeah.
something,
Did you
That's
see the
another
next one
option.
that we have to do, Pam, is the vacation. We've had the next item, which is probably not to do with highway, yeah, but we have to do this, but where you can, employees cannot take the vacation in advance. Because we've had situations where people have taken their vacation and then left. So
So basically, that's page 30. We're just
Yeah.
removing all the
Removing
comments
what
about,
can't take your vacation
go
in
into
advance
Okay.
of earning it. So
let's vote on that so we can keep this clear, I think.
Yes.
Thank you guys for
Thank
working
you.
with us on that.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Steve.
No problem.
I'd entertain a motion to remove the advanced use of vacation hours.
make a motion?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So we're gonna take that out.
Yep, that is, I think that's the last one on the handbook.
Okay, so we need to look at the other areas, how we can deal with something.
And Steve, have you come up with anything else, or your guys come up with anything else that they think would work? As another option, another set of eyes, another set of ears?
Next item up we have is the PCDC affidavit, and that has to do with the last year in the weed control contract for, I
believe it was the work next to the foundry.
Native
Or
Scapes.
Troy. Yep. Keep the Johnson grass down. That's what they basically did. So we have a contract signed with that, and we have to pay it.
Yeah, 10-5, isn't it?
I make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Next one is, I think it's yours, Pam. Shut down the county offices the 26th and the 2nd.
Yes. So it's been brought to my attention by several different employees and departments about the Friday, the 26th and Friday, the 2nd of kind of how it's not a very productive day for the courthouse. So I would like to entertain the idea of shutting down the courthouse on the 26th and the 2nd. The options would be for the employee, they can either take it unpaid, they can use comp time, vacation time, or if they had vacation scheduled, they can also cancel it and take it unpaid, or they can just leave it as is, or maybe if
Oh, so you're doing it not as a holiday, you're doing
Correct,
it as
not as
an
a
unpaid
holiday.
day.
But
Not
if
as
they
a
had it
holiday.
scheduled to be off and they had a day, paid day to be off, that they would be paid for.
correct. And if they want to come to work, if there's something that they feel they need to do, well then they can come in also. I don't know, it would be the courthouse, sheriff's department.
Health
courthouse.
Department,
I think we had talked about just three entities.
yeah, the Health Department, Parks and Rec,
Parks and Rec.
and the courthouse.
The highway garage is already off on that Friday, anyway, both of them. Solid waste needs to work, and the police needs to
Yes.
work. Solid waste has a lot of
They will be busy
refuge
on
from
those days.
Christmas, and so it would be only those three units that would be given that option.
We'll repeat those units. Courthouse.
Courthouse,
Courthouse.
Parks and Rec,
And Health
and
Department.
Health Department.
Most of them won't have any customers to speak of anyway.
I can't think of any more departments that it would affect.
What about Purdue Extension?
Do we set their hours?
Do they work the same as us?
And we go with them.
Yeah, that would be included.
That would be included, yep.
They're-
So,
The sanitarian falls under the Health Department.
so they can,
Okay.
that's their option if they want to take an unpaid day off. It's up to them.
I make a motion for those four departments to remove their schedule for the 26th and January the 2nd.
Second,
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the next item we have up, it's just basically a summary where you have openings on different boards. You can visit online, look at them, submit your letter of interest, or you can hand it to one of us or a council. And we will be making appointments the early part of 26. Next meeting we're going to have is going to be a special meeting at 9 o'clock on 12/31, strictly for the purpose of our final claims for 2025. So we get them into the year 2025 and they don't carry over to 2026. With that said, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn,
is that at 9 in the morning?
9 a.m.
I make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Put that in my calendar before I forget it.
You still want to meet tomorrow, Jonathan asked.